How's it going, YouTube? Coming today with another video, and today, guys, what to bring to you is Therions. Now, Therions are so cool, and I'm really excited about these because I think that it's one of the strongest engines that we've gotten in a very long time. And yes, they rival off very hard against the Brave engine. Now, does that mean that no one's going to be playing the Brave engine anymore? Absolutely not. They might even use these together. But what's cool about this now is that the Brave engine is 9 cards and a brick. But you have your combo protected, and then you also get a free send, so a lot of decks really do enjoy that. But when you're using the Therion engine, now you can run like 2 Regulus, 1 of the monster, or a terraforming, and then 3 of the field spell, and then you have another playset room in your main deck for maybe a hand trap or like a utility card. And I really like that though, because you at least get to use your normal summon effects as well, and you can push a lot harder in your combos. So this is something that is going to be a really big shakeup to the game, especially being legal before the YCS. I really do hope that they drop a ban list before that too, because this is going to reward everyone who's very good at deck building. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm very excited to show off a couple lists today. We're going to be going over why the Therion cards are so good and what they do exactly, because I really do think that coming out of DIFO, this is going to be the set of cards that you're looking to pick up fast. These will only be going up after they come out because they are so good. So again, without further ado, before we hop into the video, if you've not already been to Imperium Duelist, definitely go down in the description below, go to their website and check out all their cool oversleeves like the stone tablets, the Demon Slayer mat, and everything else they have to offer. And don't forget to use code GGYGO10. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video and let's talk about Therions and why they're going to be so impactful for the game. So the first thing that we have here is going to be what makes the engine good, and that's Regulus. Regulus is a machine, and it's also an Earth, which ironically, Earth Machine is going to be rejoicing very hard getting this card, but this also has a lot of purposes in other decks as well. Therefore, like Striker, we have ABC. A lot of people have been asking me for my Therion Striker list, and the one that I've been testing out for the last couple weeks. I do have that in this video for you as well, so be excited for that because I've come up with such a good list. I've been testing it out. It just works so well. I just love it so much so far. But the Regulus Be-All is just the best one. It's insane. It's also really cool because if you have a different Therion and then you equip the Regulus to it, the Regulus makes the monster equipped, gains 700, and also gains the effect of Regulus. What's really cool about these as well is that if you have a Regulus on your board and you equip like Leaper to it, the Leaper has an effect where it's a quick effect compulse. So the Regulus not only gets the effect to negate, but it also gains the effect to compulse as well, and you can use both effects in the same turn, which is really insane. And also the fact that it comes out at 28 already, absolutely broken. Very, very good. There's other cards though that make this really strong, and that's going to be Lily and Leaper. The other ones so far have not been that impressive, but I think that outside of Regulus, these are the two that you're really on the lookout for. So this one right here being Lily, you can actually go ahead and search this off of Mardell, and then once it's on your board and you equip the plant to it, you can send 1 card from your hand or field to the grave and then search a Therion spell or trap. So you can go ahead and add the field spell to add Regulus, and then you can go ahead and link this card off and then use the Regulus to reattach it. Another thing that you can do that's really nice, honestly, in the P.U.N.K Therion deck that we'll be showing is that you can use the Leaper, reattach the Lily, and then use the effect of Lily and go ahead and grab the field spell, grab the Regulus, and then you can use the Leaper because it's already a 7 and use Red Rose Dragon and make your Baron, which is really nice too because once the Baron's made, you can go ahead and use the Regulus to reattach either the Lily or the Leaper, and then you have 2 negates already on your board as Omnis, which is really strong. The other thing that I want to mention here too is that we have the field spell in the Ario system. So these cards are really strong. So the one thing that I really enjoy about this card right here is that you can only use 1 of the effects per turn. So you can either go ahead and Foolish a Therion, or if this card's in your grave, you can target a Therion in your grave, add it to your hand, and then place this card in the bottom of your deck. Or vice versa, you can place a Therion on the bottom of your deck and add this card to your hand. So I really like these though because they just put a lot of gas and a lot of recyclability into the deck. The other thing is the field spell. It's not just a Rhoda for a Therion. This card is absolutely broken. So what's really cool about it is that if a monster is destroyed by battle, you can go ahead and target a Therion in your grave and add it back to your hand. if a monster would be destroyed by battle, you can go ahead and protect the monster and just send a Therion from your deck to the grave instead. And then you can use both of these effects in the same turn. So let's say I have a Shizuku on the board. They attack into Shizuku, I dump Regulus. They attack into Shizuku again, I can add Regulus, which is really, really strong because already a lot of times when you're playing Striker alone and they run over your Shizuku, you have the option to summon back Ray, and you either can kind of the next monster or you can go into Kagari and add something back for the follow-up turn. What's really nice about this is that they have to clear this card before they go battle. Otherwise, you're getting a lot of free value because once they finally kill the Shizuku, you can bring back the Ray, go into your Kagari, or if they don't have any more things to attack with, you can go to Shizuku, and then you can go ahead and add in the end phase as well. So you're going to be very up in card advantage very quickly with really solid follow-up. So I really like this engine a lot. I think that it's very strong, and that's one thing that we're going to be going over a lot of these lists now, and why I think that this is going to be blending so well into our meta as is. So the first thing that I would mention is going to be Therion plants. So the plant deck is something that we've seen for a long time really try to take off and really try to do well, and that's something that they needed the Brave Engine 2 to really be able to go uninterrupted. But if you play the Therion cards, what's really cool is that, again, you can go ahead and search that Lily, set up Regulus in your combo, and then you're all set. Now, if you're not going to play the Brave Engine, you can still play the Therions. You can play them both if you really need to. There's not really a lot of space in the deck, so you kind of have to pick. But I do think in this deck alone that it is just another very nice option to have. I think that's very nice. But this is something that I would be looking into as a Therion plant deck if you are interested in this type of a build. Playing like the cross out and the call by, I think that's just correct anyway, because again, you need your combo to go off. I also just really like the Therion cards if you're forced to go second, and again, they just come out so big, and that's one thing that's really huge, because if you ever have a problem with, let's say, like a Guardian Chimera, and it's at 33 already, you can make your monster gain 700, and if it's already on the Regulus, that's going to be a lot to be able to just beat over the Chimeras, you know? So that's one thing that I really do enjoy. As for the next one, though, we have P.U.N.K Therion. Now, P.U.N.K Therion, it's really, really strong from what I've seen in the OCG. This was the best deck before Splites came out. So what's really cool about this is you actually see 3 of the Foolish. So the Foolish itself is really cool in this deck because the whole point of it is to essentially get to your level 3 P.U.N.K. This card will then go ahead and search the Foxy Tune. The Foxy Tune will then go ahead and allow you to summon out the Dia Note. Then you'll go into your Chaotic Ruler, and then once this is sent from the field to the grave, you can go ahead and bring back your Foxy Tune. So you just milled 5 cards, and then you can exceed the Foxy Tune and your Chaotic Ruler, and then go into your Zombie Vampire, and then mill another set of cards as well. Which is crazy because, again, once you mill the Foolish, if you mill another Therion, let's say that you just milled like a Lily and you milled a Regulus, you can add that Regulus back to your hand and then go ahead and use the effect to reattach like the Lily. So that's really nice though. I really enjoy that effect. By the way, something that I found out, you don't need to send your monster with an equip for Regulus to work. You just need to send a Regulus, which is pretty crazy. You can send a Therion card from your monster rather, from your hand or field to the grave to do the negate. But if you are negating with Regulus, you can just send Regulus. It doesn't need an equip, which was a really cool find, because at that point you can go ahead and reborn this if you are playing Asa and still keep that negation. And I think that's really important to note too, is that with the Brave Engine, if you are playing that, maybe you consider playing the Asa now, because you can go Asa and reborn Regulus, and then you're in a really good position at that point because you have an omni-negate now on your board, because the token from the Brave Engine is Earth, and a lot of people really don't realize that. The other thing too in this deck that I think is really cool is, again, that you just have the ability to go ahead and make rank 8s. The other thing though is that you do play like the Red Rose engine. They weren't playing this in the OCG from what I've seen. I added this in here because I thought this was really good synergy. You always have some type of tuner available to you, so going into a Hulk and then summoning out like the Red Rose is really cool, because again, you can use Leaper since it's already a 7 and then go into your Baron and do combo. So that's one thing that I think was really important to note. And I think that this kind of a build has a lot of potential. We also play the trap because what's cool is, like I was saying earlier, that if you have the Leaper and the Lily, you can go ahead and you can search the trap, which allows you to target a Therion in your grave. So like you can target a Regulus and then attach a monster to it, and then you already have another negate on the board as well. So that's one thing that I really enjoy. Prosperities in this deck, probably not super needed, but it is a really nice option as well. Now, for my striker list that everyone's been asking for, this deck is so clean so far. I've been enjoying this a lot playing online, and that is going to be including summon limits in the main deck. I am playing the third Rose now. I was playing 3 Regulus, but I ended up cutting the ratio down to 3 Field Spell, 1 Terraforming, double Regulus. I really like this a lot though, because I feel like whenever you're trying to set up a board, especially if you're trying to go first, the striker deck already has so many ways to break a board. And if you're going second and you draw Summon Limit as one of your 6 cards, you still have 5 cards to go ahead and break the board. And that's never been a problem with strikers. So like once you break a board and you set up Summon Limit, a lot of times there's no coming back from that. That's something that is just really tough for your opponent to handle. The other thing that you'll see that might be a little different is in my extra deck, I'm actually playing Brute Enforcer. I like this card a lot. You can go ahead and discard a card and then target a face-up card your opponent controls. They can either discard a card of the same type to prevent this or negate that card. I really like this card a lot. Again, being able to get that free discard, especially if you have like the Regulus already in hand, like if you open up double. And I've seen it happen a couple times where this came up where I opened up double Regulus and I like pitched one and then negated a monster and then went Regulus into Regulus, which is pretty nice too. That does come up. But this is something that I've been working on, and I think that this list has done really well so far, especially with Droplet. I think that makes a lot of sense. Like I was saying, whenever you go ahead and you use Regulus effect and you equip something, you don't need the equip to stay on the board to have the negation. So things like Droplet just seem a lot more free in this build because you can go ahead and just send cards off your board that don't really matter. Again, the Therion Field Spell, really broken to have on the board, especially whenever you have like a Shizuku. They have to out the Field Spell if they really want to be able to not net you a lot of advantage, and that's one thing that Striker really thrives on, is just having a lot of advantage. So I really do like this build so far. More testing will be happening, but so far so good. So I hope that you enjoyed this video today. I hope that you're ready for Therions because they come out in like 2 weeks, maybe less, and I'm very excited to start playing with them and see how far we go, especially with Striker Therion. If you're not already part of my community, definitely go ahead and join my Discord, follow my Twitch, follow my Twitter. We're almost at 1,000 followers on Twitter, so definitely go over there and do that for me. I would really appreciate that. And if you're new here, definitely leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I just really love interacting with my community and really being able to make the videos that really will help you progress. So again, if you've never been on Metafy yet either, definitely go on there and check it out for a one-on-one session if you'd like. I always have different sessions available, so if you have specific questions, you can always PM me on Discord and we can set up a session that's just right for you. I hope that everyone has a wonderful night. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thank you.